everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Friday, November 26, 2021. Time is 1:39 p.m. Yes, Jersey time. All right, let's get right to the story. We got 5 heroes here in Georgia. Very disgusting what they did. I'm going to read the story for you. This is reported in People magazine, people.com. And this came out, this was reported on November 22nd, 2021. It's all over the internet, so it's not hard to find a story about it. But what I found is each story is a little bit different, leaving things out. So I think this version here is going to have the best. All right, again, this is on people.com. 5 Georgia police officers charged with murder and asphyxiation death of 24-year-old festival goer. And here's the story right here. Take a good look. Okay, let's find out. I did read the story, so I do know what's going on here. Let me put the new glasses on. Finally got some glasses I can read. 5 police officers in Georgia have been indicted on charges including murder for allegedly killing a 24-year-old naked festival goer after tasing him repeatedly and suffocating him in 2019, the Henry County District Attorney's Office announced. On September 23, 2019, Fernando Rodriguez died of asphyxiation after officers 3 days earlier allegedly held him down on the ground while he was handcuffed, shackled, and applying pressure to his body near the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Henry County Assistant District Attorney Megan Matucci said in a release. Now, I read in another story in the dailybeast.com that these cops piled on top of them, and they were probably doing the old dry hump. You know, they like to dry hump you. Like, these guys like to get you on the ground and dry hump you. But anyway, the story that they reported is the cops all piled on top of him, and he suffocated. On Friday, a grand jury returned an indictment charging Henry County police officers Robert Butera, Quentin Phillips, and Hampton police officers Mason Lewis, Marcus Stroud, and Gregory Bolden, each with 1 count of malice murder, 2 counts of felony murder, and 1 count of aggravated assault. Each officer is also charged with 1 count of violation of oath of office for violating their oaths as law enforcement officers by stretching Rodriguez out on the ground in a prone position. And remind you, he was naked when they did this too. While he was handcuffed, shackled, holding him down and applying pressure to his body, Matucci says in a release. One of us asked, what were they doing? Like doing a choo-choo train with him? You know, one's on top of the other and they're all doing the dry hump? On September 20, 2019, Rodriguez was leaving the Imagine Music Festival at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton when officers responded to a 911 call about a man walking naked in the middle of the street and confronted him, the release says. Geez, you can't even walk naked anymore without these clowns showing up and killing you. Body camera footage shows one of the officers aiming the stun gun at Rodriguez's back when he walked away. So you walk away, they shoot you with the stun gun. Isn't that nice? The officers ordered Rodriguez to roll over, and when he failed to do so, they tased him again. So wait a second. You tase me once, I go down. You tell me to roll over, and I don't, probably because I just got tased and I can't, and maybe I'm a little off balance too from thumping on the ground from being tased. So then I don't roll over, and you tase me again. Oh, that's real good. I just didn't want to have to beat, hold on. The officers ordered Rodriguez to roll over. When he failed to do so, they tased him again, the journal reports. I just didn't want to have to beat the boy to death when it's necessary to beat him to death. You see the mindset? This is what's running around out there with a badge and a gun. One of the officers heard saying, NBC News reports. One of the officers can be heard threatening to kick Rodriguez's teeth while he lay on the ground, according to the footage. As Rodriguez lay moaning on the ground, multiple officers knelt on Rodriguez's arms, neck, and back to restrain him for almost 10 minutes while they waited for an ambulance to arrive. In addition to holding his naked body down on the ground, the officers struck Rodriguez more than a dozen times with their taser, the release says. My question is, where did they tase him? They tase his nuts? tase him in the ass, because you know these are the things they like to do. One of the officers allegedly said Rodriguez had stopped breathing, the footage shows. He was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital where he died 3 days later. The death was investigated by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The grand jury issued the indictment Friday after 5 p.m., following the 2 days of testimony from witnesses. Warrants for the officer's arrest were issued Monday, the Henry Herald reports. Each officer has a $100,000 bond and must turn themselves in, which they did. In May, Rodriguez's family filed a federal wrongful death suit against the officers, as well as the city of Hampton and Henry County, alleging that the officers should have given Rodriguez medical help instead of restraining him and tasing him, NBC News reports. One of the officers allegedly called Rodriguez a sweaty little hog during the confrontation. The footage shows. The officers failed to render aid and continued to pin Fernando to the ground for nearly 4 minutes after he became totally unresponsive, the complaint alleges. It says Rodriguez was non-combative throughout the confrontation. In July, the family reached settlement against the Hampton Police Department for $3 million. You mean the taxpayers, because not one penny of that is coming out of any of those cops' pocket, nor their supervisors. Former officers Gregory Baldwin and Mason Lewis resigned from the Hampton Police Department August 5th, 2021. Well, gee, why do you think they did that? Oh, maybe they got some pension coming to them? Former officer Marcus Stroud resigned from the city's police department October 16, 2019. A spokesperson for the city of Hampton said in a statement to People. In light of the indictment and ongoing criminal litigation in this matter, the city will not be commenting further at this time. Respectfully directs further inquiries to the Henry County District Attorney's Office. The suit against the Henry County Police Department is ongoing. A spokesman for the Henry County did not immediately respond to People's requests for comment. Well, there you go. More violence by these heroes that are supposedly out there protecting and serving us. But as we all know, the only thing that they are protecting and serving is the government. That's right, the government. In the meanwhile, they're holding this naked guy down, and who knows what they're doing. I suspect there was some sexual activity involved, and I would not be surprised one bit if they didn't jam that taser in the guy's behind and pull the trigger on him and light him up. Because this is the kind of depraved things that they do. And it's very disgusting. And by the way, where are you bootlickers? You bootlickers want to chime in? Any of you blue ball lickers, blue dick suckers out there want to chime in and tell me it's just an isolated incident, and every profession has its bad apples, and this doesn't represent all the officers. You're absolutely right. It does not represent all the other officers out there in the world, because others are doing other things to people, like raping women and molesting children and downloading porn and shooting black men in the back and then planting evidence on them. Yeah, they do a lot of other things, not just this. People are bootlickers. But I'm sure all the bootlickers are out there, and they're probably saying, no, this guy hates cops. He's hating on cops. Well, I hate these cops. These 5 cops here, I'll publicly say it. I hate them. I don't like them. I hope they go to jail. I hope they put them in general population and let them fend for themselves. That's what they need. And what really sucks, $3 million out of the taxpayer's pocket is paid off that lawsuit, and those people, they deserve every penny they got. It's too bad it wasn't $100 million. I'd love to see these departments, these towns with bad cops. I'd like to see them all get bankrupted. That's the only way we're going to change things. We got to bankrupt them and hold the officers accountable, personally accountable. I think these cops should have to play a part in the payment of that lawsuit. This is intentional what they did. No doubt intentional. And I haven't seen the video yet as I'm making of this video. I will find it, and I'll include it if I can get it. But I would not be surprised one bit if there's some kind of sexual torture going on to this poor guy, simply because he was naked, and these cops are creepy like that, and that's their way of humiliating the guy and punishing him and everything else. Very disgusting. 5 Georgia cops tase a naked young man on the side of the road, held him down, tased him some more, kneeled on him, whatever they did, caused him not to breathe. So I'm assuming they had to be on top of his,
check the mic and make sure it sounds
standing
right,
on him,
boy.
kneeling on him, so he couldn't breathe. And they've been charged finally. I'll put the link in the description. Anything else I can find on it, you can read or watch the video. Whatever I put there, you can see it for yourself, okay? Till next time, people.
In 2019, Fernando Octavio Rodriguez left a music festival and is later seen naked walking down the road.
Get on the ground, dude.
Rodriguez turns around and says something that was bleeped from us hearing it and walks away. Eventually, Rodriguez is tased. And tased again. And again. 15 times in total as officers order him to roll over, saying they want to help.
Roll over on your stomach, man, so we can get y'all ambulance or something, okay?
Believing him to be under the influence.
Whatever it is you're on, it ain't worth all this. Roll over, okay?
And as the video goes on, officers struggle to put Rodriguez's arms behind his back, and they can be heard issuing threats.
Dude, if you bite them, I'll kick your teeth out. This arm ain't moving, I'll break it.
Later on, two officers laugh at the situation.
You believe I've done this long and this is my first naked man?
Officers continue to kneel on his back and arms, ordering him to keep his head down. Rodriguez cries, and then stops breathing.
Just quit breathing. Are you serious?
Wake your butt up.
As they try to wake him, an officer is heard saying,
I just didn't want to have to beat the boy to death. Now what happened last week?
We'll stop the video here. Paramedics perform CPR and Rodriguez is eventually put on a stretcher, but he appears limp. He died a few hours later. According to the family attorney, the medical examiner ruled his death a homicide.